Hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you very much for joining us for our global weather extremes for Friday, the top 5 around the world. And we kick off with number 1 as we go into Asia. We've got 2 low pressure zones, double trouble. One coming into the Philippines, the other one leaving the Philippines and moving into mainland parts of China and also affecting parts of Vietnam. Hong Kong also getting a blast of wind and rain as that storm moves through. This one is larger, but it's not as aggressive, so it's got a lot of thunder activity associated with it and downpours, but it's not quite as stormy as the smaller one here that's closer to Hong Kong. So this is how it looks on the air pressure maps. You can see the large size with this one and the more compact version of the storm coming in between Hanoi and Hong Kong. Very heavy rain along that coastal zone. Strong winds as well. They'll be potentially gale force, but that's not likely to cause too many problems. Again, it'll be rain, slips, landslides, flash flooding, and things like that. The good news is it is drying out further down here where they've also had torrential rain falling for the last couple of days. On the animated map, you can sort of get a better idea as to where those downpours are really moving in. So it's around the Hong Kong area. That's where we'll be seeing the bulk of that heavy rain moving through with well over 150, maybe 250 millimeters of rain coming through over the next few days. And as I said, the other low producing a lot of thunderstorms, so you'll be seeing more of those thunderstorms all around that southern edge of the low and on the western side of it, continuing to impact the Philippines over the next couple more days. Number 2 on our list takes us over into Europe and to Italy. Now, for those of you who have been watching the weather this week, there was a major rain event in Italy from this low pressure zone right here. Now, when I say major, I mean major. 29 inches of rain, that's over 700 millimeters, falling in 12 hours. It broke the European record for the most amount of rain to fall in a 12-hour period. Absolutely incredible rainfall. So that heavy rain caused by that low, the rain fell up in northern parts of the nation. The low is basically stalled, surrounded by high pressure. It's not going away anywhere fast, but it's getting a bit of moisture off the sea there to help fuel it. So I do expect more big downpours coming through for Italy over the next couple of days. Plenty of thunderstorms in this area as well. So that's what, produces those sorts of big downpours, is when you have a thunderstorm. It just sits there and it doesn't move, and you end up with these clouds that bubble up and produce really intense rain. So that's what we're seeing again all down that eastern side, especially around here in Italy on the other side of Rome. It won't be in Rome itself, with the low pressure zone parked right here though, and heavy rain moving into a number of other countries as far east as Bulgaria and Serbia, northern Macedonia and Greece getting some pretty heavy downpours as well, all associated with that low parked over Italy. Buongiorno. Okay, we move over to number 3 and we're going into, once again, Iceland. It seems to be, if I had to pick one country on planet Earth that has featured the most in our videos for the last 2 months, it would be Iceland. So another storm. This is what was Hurricane Sam. It's now falling apart and reorganizing itself. It is somewhat impacting Scotland and some parts of Ireland due to the southerly flow coming in around it, but for the most part it's driving in wind, rain and a bit of snow as well to Iceland and parts of Greenland. You can see it here on the air pressure map with another storm coming up closely behind it around St. John's, and then that moves and probably will join up and they'll form one big area of low pressure, which is quite standard. You see what I mean about the rain though, coming in around parts of Ireland and getting into Scotland as well. England though looks mostly dry. So we go to number 4, and you might just have to sort of recalibrate here. So here is the North Pole, right there, that's the North Pole. This is Russia, and over here is Alaska, Anchorage, and coming into British Columbia and North America. So I hope you've now figured that part out. So stormy weather here. We've been talking about this for a few days around the Aleutian Islands, but really what the feature I wanted to show you here was this low pressure zone, not only around Russia, and I mean a huge portion of Russia under low pressure, but it extends all the way out into Alaska, United States and the Yukon, Canada and the Northwest Territories. So this is a big part of planet Earth with low pressure right now, and this is as far out as you can zoom the map for our air pressure maps. Not very often that a low pressure zone fills up the entire screen. Now the central air pressure is not that bad, so it's not necessarily a big storm, but it's just a lot of low pressure, and all the isobars here, all this windy weather going around that low is being generated by an enormous area of high pressure further down over Europe. And that's where we go to number 5. Our 5th extreme weather item today is actually high pressure. And look at it, it's a huge block of high pressure, what you see here in the white shading, stretching all the way from England across the continental part of Europe and right across Russia. In fact, it gets almost into Mongolia. So that is a huge part of planet Earth covered by high pressure, extending all the way down. And there is that storm we were just talking about in Italy. So the Mediterranean Sea is sort of the edge of it all, but that is a very big area of high pressure. And when you take a look at the air pressure map, you can really see how dominant that is. So 1040 hectopascals or millibars, parked right over the top of Moscow, Russia, and extending, as I say, all the way out to Mongolia, where we've actually got another area of high pressure, and then that stormy low stuck there over Italy. So there we go. Those are the top 5 extreme weather features around the world, and our image of the day goes to Africa for all the thunderstorms. There is a lot going on today with the thunder activity. It starts from a low pressure zone just here around South Africa, down around the Southern Ocean, bringing in some wind and rain around the very south. But then those thunderstorms go all the way up to the equator, where we get the usual convergence zone across here with all those thunderstorms. That's all from me. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you again on Monday with our next top 5 global weather extremes around the world.